With $900 million from selling your freight business, your limousine stops beside leather trunks and buys no legend yet. A missed connection strands you on a half-empty platform where a sleeping car glints under tarps behind the last commuters. Your shoe catches the tarp edge. Blue and gold paint flashes through dust, and the brass handrail sells more history than any broker pitch. The sleeper car is decaying in public. You pay porters to cover the leaking carriage roofs overnight. Inside the abandoned grand suite, your fingers lift a tarnished brass carriage key from the writing desk. The key leaves a dark oval in the dust. A suite that cannot lock, run, or pass inspection still has value if the original fittings survive. Your palm closes around the brass carriage key. A core/SNCF material lands in the sales salon before your sleeping car has moved 1 yard. A glossy route brochure claims the official Orient Express future beside untouched champagne flutes. Your jaw tightens. Name confusion cuts margin early, since wealthy buyers pay more when the legend feels settled before price. Can you buy a legend, or must railway people grant it? Elena Marchand condemns cosmetic fantasy, so you bring her in. Beside limp ropes and unused brass steps, you commit around $120 million for the underdeveloped train. The brass step rocks under your shoe. A full takeover would trap the fortune. This slice leaves capital for work guests we'll never see. Your hand grips the rail before the deal closes. The first money goes into sealing the carriages, not polishing them for cameras. You walk the sealed shed between disconnected hoses, roof patches, and a humidity meter. Insurers care about water, asbestos risk, wheel sets, and cataloged fittings before they care about velvet. The shed smells like saved money. You order every brass fitting logged before one handle disappears into a collector's pocket. Elena Marchand gets the wheel profile gauge before any decorator enters. From the bogie drop pit, you fund brake rigging and steel wheels before a single suite is sold. Grease marks your cuff. Railway authorities approve running gear, doors, fire systems, and power before guests pay for ease. A train that cannot run is decor with storage fees. You greenlight the hidden rebuild because real paths require certified steel under the glamour. Elena Marchand locks the finished grand suite with a red service tag. The red tag cuts harder than a bad review. Your decorator points at lacquer, but Elena Marchand points at the door file and refuses service release. One unusable suite can erase a season's premium revenue. You swallow the delay. With partitions removed, your crews join tiny sleeping compartments into suite-grade privacy. The private shower room takes passenger count away. Fewer cabins raise yield only if the lost bunks become privacy a billionaire cannot buy on a normal train. Your knuckles tap the exposed frame, where two fares become one larger fare. The train starts competing with yachts and palace hotels. You name the grand suites by route mythology around framed maps. A chef takes the copper pan, then accepts the moving galley's narrow rules. The copper pan is strapped down before the first sauce test. Fine dining on rails pays when timing survives vibration, border pauses, limited cold storage, and a corridor-width kitchen. Your chef cuts the menu, not the standard. Dinner becomes part of the fare ceiling. A core/SNCF takes the press, while your crest stencil waits beside wet enamel. The unfinished crest sits flat in the paint shop, and your phone fills with rival revival clips. Your own train has better bones. Public myth can outrun certified steel when the rival owns the famous language before your carriages move. You push designers past Elena Marchand's break objections. A billionaire appointment faces a cabin floor plan instead of a booking form. Your private client director opens fabric boards and suite layouts while you hear the buyer's anniversary demands. The commission lives in discretion. Agents bring repeat families when the desk solves security, luggage, adjoining cabins, and privacy before booking. You restore Elena Marchand's veto beside the polished switch plates. A leak warps the veneer panel on the marquetry bench. Your thumb stops above the lifted grain. Insurance can pay cash, but original veneer needs the right craftsperson, pattern, and time. The damaged panel lies under weights. You commission hand repair with mother-of-pearl inlay saved from the original fragments. First grand suites sell before the public calendar opens. Elena Marchand delays launch until the door lock passes repeated tests. The lock clicks wrong once. Under welding screens, engineers test gangway connections again while you refuse the easier launch date. A late departure costs less than a public failure. The first departure becomes a railway premiere with your welcome podium placed beside brass steps. Stewards line the red carpet as photographers stay behind ropes. Your restored crest faces the lamps. The footage sells the train better than a campaign because buyers understand rarity when guests board slowly. A disrupted path exposes fixed costs no refund can soften. You run proof miles before selling the myth again. The denied Istanbul route card goes onto your route planning wall. Red marks slash the Paris to Istanbul map across borders, locomotive changes, and timing windows. Your fingertip stops at the Balkan section. A famous route pays most after national rail managers trust the train inside their timetable. The red route card stays pinned for later. On the certified Paris to Venice style run, your crystal glass holds steady through alpine vibration. The dining car linen stays measured. Service earns belief when dinner continues while railway work happens outside the windows. Your steward pours without looking at the curve. The first moving proof sells more than any promise. A dark locomotive change lands cleanly without interrupting service. In the grand suite, the monogrammed robe waits beside fresh flowers and the brass carriage key. Your private client director phones before breakfast. The top suite for next season goes overnight because scarcity has finally met proof, not rumor. You touch the brass key and understand leverage. With passport envelopes and numbered trunks, your concierge field starts before departure. Your staff collect garment bags, allergy notes, security requests, and transfers while you walk the luggage room. Fares rise when friction disappears for people whose time costs more than the cabin. The passport envelope becomes part of the product. Venice water taxis receive tagged luggage before guests step down. 2 glossy brochures split the sales desk in front of you. A core/SNCF language mirrors yours, using 1920s glamour and European legend until buyers ask which train is real. Your sales director goes quiet. Confusion discounts the cabin before negotiation begins. You answer the name War with the original sleeping car plaque. Behind half-drawn curtains, a sealed luggage transfer turns a charter into a private border crossing. Your security lead moves passports through customs hands while guests stay behind glass with dinner paused. One full train charter can beat months of individual bookings. The train becomes a sealed venue. A Gulf buyout closes without opening public inventory. An American family takes the whole bar car as its moving venue. Your chief steward corps trains around the hot water jug and the remembered pillow. A steward repeats a guest's tea order from the last journey while you stand in the service corridor. Memory earns loyalty here. Tips help, but discretion brings wealthy guests back with family, lawyers, and security staff. Senior stewards get paid for discretion, not servility. You push the Istanbul launch while the brass crest plaque still lies unmounted beside the key. Elena Marchand does not lift the crest. The unmounted plaque tells the workshop that glamour has outrun brake files, route trust, and crew judgment. Your schedule suddenly costs loyalty. The carriage master refuses sign-off beside the unapproved lead car. Overalls gather around the call button panel while you hear the silence spread. No check can buy that nod. Craftspeople protect the train by withholding trust, and the lost trust slows work more than any missing part. Accor/SNCF captures waitlisted guests with the official revival pitch. The Rival brochure covers your suite allocation cards in the sales salon. Your private client director calls families who had held cabins on trust. A lost waitlist hurts twice, since the highest cabins sell through belief before public inventory opens. The infrastructure manager denies the Balkan section. The path request comes back with the Istanbul timetable grid slashed through the middle. Your operations team stops speaking over the map. Track access means permission, crews, dispatching, insurance, and national confidence, not a luxury extra. The denied route turns a sold dream into a yearly wound. You cancel the public boast and order humility-proof runs. At the border halt, the leather passport folder passes under customs hands again. Your reopened Istanbul journey is rare by design. Each border stamp now sells proof of discipline because the highest margin route needs scarcity and railway confidence. You price the crossing like a summit, then make the train earn every mile. You invite railway partners under the brake test gauge first. The gold lining brush stays in your palm while the carriage master tests each painted edge. You ask for refusal and the paint shop becomes safer than another rushed approval. Her brush stops above the crest. Craft permission becomes the launch gate. Without craft trust, rich guests buy a film set. Elena Marchand brings the approval tab after your last proof run matches the brake records country by country. Your thumb rests beside the country tabs, not on her pen. She signs once. A signed carriage can earn for a season. A pressured carriage can lose every route authority. Fresh flowers mark the grand suites for the East Asian waitlist. Across the sales salon, your private client director raises champagne among empty allocation cards and the Accor/SNCF brochure. Families claimed the suites before the calendar opened. The Rival sold name heat. Your waitlist bought moving proof. Pre-release allocation protects price, since no public scramble teaches billionaires to wait for discounts. You remove extra cabins before the corridor breaks. The enamel crest reaches the blue and gold carriage after your crew circles the paint shop bench. Elena Marchand nods at the key. Your carriage master takes the screws himself, and the brass carriage key lies beside fresh enamel. Mounted with permission, the crest tells railway people the train still belongs to their craft. Inside the Grand Suite, you turn the brass carriage key beside the Istanbul route card. The old lock gives. Your hand pauses on the writing desk as the door opens onto marquetry, bed linen, champagne, and the prepared route. The unlocked suite earns more than several old compartments, yet the key proves the upgrade kept the carriage. The bar car piano starts the once-a-year house party while you stand among returning guests in black tie. Velvet stools fill without crowding. A steward greets a family by route history, and the chef times dinner around the next border halt. Scarcity pays twice on this train, through the suite fare and through the right to be aboard tonight. Your guest list makes the bar car a private social signal. At the route planning table, you place the stamped route card over the old red-marked map. France to Turkey approvals cover the borders. Each stamp means one infrastructure manager, one traction provider, and one safety authority has granted the same journey. Route permission is inventory here. Without the path, the most expensive cabin is a parked room. Back on the Discovery platform, Elena Marchand signs the final route card as your sold-out train waits under lamps for Istanbul. Your sold-out train stands behind ropes as the departure board reads Istanbul. The Accor/SNCF brochures cannot board the guests who already chose your certified cars. A rival can borrow glamour, but a departing train owns the platform for the night. Photographers lift cameras as your crest passes the lamps that once showed dust. White gloves close every claimed Grand Suite door. Railway workers grant the legend by letting your cars pass. After departure, you return to the half-empty Discovery platform where the dust-covered sleeper first interrupted your night. You own the dominant ultra-luxury rail platform with scarce flagship journeys and full train charters claimed before public sale. The business is worth around $5 billion, built from certified carriages, rare routes, private allocations, and full train demand. Your money bought access, but railway people, craftspeople, and guests granted the legend. On the grand suite writing desk, the polished carriage key rests beside the stamped Istanbul route card. The same half-empty platform where dust first stopped you now holds no tarps.